Hey guys, it's Sandra for the Peas of Happiness. I want to share a piece of advice that it took a long time for me to really understand, and I still don't do awesome at it, but I'm going to share this knowledge with you anyways and hope that you guys can perfect it and, blossom in ways that I have not been able to. There are so many vegans that get frustrated and upset with people who are not vegan and come to their personal Facebook pages or call them out on social media, and try to make jokes about their veganism. It is a thing that all vegans are familiar with. You post a status on social media, pointing out or drawing attention to in some way the plight of animals, and some non-vegan comes to your page and comments, ha ha ha, bacon, or comments, ha ha ha, I love steak, or makes some kind of terrible, casual, violent joke that is disturbing on so many levels, and you don't know what to do, and you don't know how to handle it, and like, what do you do? And people come like spouting cognitive dissonance all over your page, where you know that they totally could have just kept scrolling, but they're coming here to frustrate you with their like totally non-inclusive ways. We all know what that's like. This has been coming up a lot in my life lately, not personally, but through friends and friends of friends who have messaged us asking, like, how do we deal with that? How do you deal with somebody who is just maybe is very, very precious to you, very dear to you in your life, and who does not want to open themselves up to compassionate ideas? Like, how do you get across to them, and how do you stand up for yourself without causing like all this drama? So that's what I want to talk to you about. I can only share my personal experience, like this isn't perfect, but for me, learning how to do this took a long, long time and a lot of self-control, but it has definitely been the best measure I've ever used, like the best method I've ever used to like steer people back on track and actually get them down to like what the issues are, and having an open conversation with somebody who comes at you in a very like aggressive way. So I just start by asking them questions and calling them out on their disrespect. This doesn't have to be in a negative way. So I'm going to give you an example from my personal life. So a little while back, I posted a status about the difficulties of living in a non-vegan world when you are trying so hard to live a compassionate lifestyle and wake people up to this. And it was a very like heartfelt rant. I was very kind of upset at the moment. And I had somebody from my life come and comment, well, because animals are tasty. I've seen responses from people where they get irate. I have seen responses from people where they just like tell them to, go screw themselves. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to try, or at least attempt to like point out the fact that this like really sucks for me. So I was just honest. What a radical idea. And I straightforward asked him, like, are you here to try to mock me or make fun of me, or like in some like, it seems very disrespectful to come here like where you could have just kept scrolling and comment something on so disrespectful on an issue that I clearly care a lot about. So was this your intention? Was your intention to hurt me, or did you have an ulterior intention? So of course the person answers with, something to the effect of like, well, no, of course I respect you. Well, if you respect me, do you want to understand, my perspective? Would you like to understand veganism and learn a little bit about it and try to understand where I'm coming from and why I might be so passionate about these ideas? So of course this starts an entire dialogue. The person, from my example, from my life said, well, I do understand a little bit. I researched, like, but I need meat to live. I just need meat. Well, no, you don't. And here's some scientific evidence. And then, the person came back with something else. Well, I just really enjoy it. Okay, well, civilized people require more than pleasure to justify their actions. So, would you consider this? Like, well, and then they came back, well, history, though. I'm like, okay, but we live in a modern society where that isn't the case anymore. So if you could live happy and healthy without consuming animals, without hurting anybody, why wouldn't you? Silence. And, while that's you know, maybe I didn't like, you know, totally like grab this person and drag them, you know, onto the side of veganism, and maybe they totally ignored me after that point. But there was a couple of things that happened that came that were really positive. Of that, one was that I avoided any kind of really negative conflict, while two, I didn't allow myself to be walked all over. I don't ever want somebody to think that they can come to my social media page and talk about casual violence in such a way. And what I mean by casual violence is people think, oh, it's just the norm. Things die. Like, oh yeah, things die. Well, no, things don't die. They're beings, and we breed them, mutilate them, torture them, and then we kill them. So that's not, like, we're not talking about circle of life. I never want somebody to come and so casually brush over these things when, especially, I'm trying to be sincere and this is my life's mission, so I don't know why you're gonna come mock me anyways. But we need to stop letting casual violence be an acceptable form of banter, be an acceptable form of interaction. So when you call people out on these principles, they do tend to try to cover their own, you know, tracks and backtrack and then say, well, no, that's not really what I meant. And a lot of times you can get a teachable moment out of it. Just like with anything in the internet, a lot of times your goal is not to actually convert the person you're talking to, but rather to create a conversation that people are going to go see. They're going to go read your comments. They're going to go like comments. They're going to go and do all this stuff. Show them this interaction, because someone somewhere is going to watch this cognitive dissonance and fueled meltdown, and they're going to say, oh my gosh, that really doesn't make any sense, and it's going to click for them. So never ever like let yourself be discouraged by a heckler. Hecklers are just an opportunity for you to demonstrate, you know, being calm in any situation, to demonstrate the cognitive dissonance that fuels these kind of ideas that allow animal agriculture to continue. You know, don't be afraid to call people out. And then of course you can continue. Like, do you think there's a humane way to kill a being that doesn't want to die? I mean, you can straightforward ask people these types of questions, and you may not always get the answers that you want, which are rational, calm, clear-headed answers, but you will definitely get a more honest answer than if you berate them and call them murderers and, you know, flip out and, you know, kind of do all these other things. So I do really, really encourage you guys to give it a try. I'm not a therapist, and I'm not a psychologist, and I'm not a guru of any kind, but certainly in my own life, just staying calm and keeping my eyes focused on like the reason that I'm talking to them, and usually the goal is for the animals. I mean, is your goal to simply like point out that they've upset you? Is your goal to, you know, keep your pride in check? Is your goal to help animals? Is your goal to educate them? Is your goal to make them feel stupid and inferior? You know, you choose your actions based off of your goal. So if you continuously keep your goals in mind, which again, I really think should always be about the animals, then you'll find you have a lot easier time conversating with human beings that don't see eye to eye with you on these issues, or maybe are on purpose holding themselves back from understanding these issues. Give it a try. Tell me how it goes. I'd be totally down to hear how this goes for everybody. Try just asking questions, and you know, see how it goes from there. Alright guys, we'll continue to live your positive plant-based existences and try to stay calm while you're talking to non-vegans, and I'll see you next time.